don't think it's on my end, it doesn't sound like it anyway, but, because I looked, I don't have anything blocking it. Eric, is that something you could look into? 'Cause
Yeah, I know that,
respond to-
I had to create for a lot of emails that I got, I know I had to create what's called a DMARC record in our DNS system. Because even with a couple other companies I deal with, they were getting some of my emails, not from Central Coast, but through my other company emails. And so it's just, it's a way they're tightening things down to where spammers can't just use arbitrarily somebody else's mail server. So you have to have DMARC records, and they have to go back, be able to, in a way, helps reverse lookups of those things. So I'll make sure that ours is correct as far as, because your Gmail, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll make sure that Google's is seeing it correctly. So we'll go from there.
Well, I hate not to respond to somebody. I think I'm ignoring them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I had sent 3 separate emails out to you, and I literally took a cut and paste off of a Word document and dropped it into
Body of the
the
email.
body of the email. But I did it on my phone, and it looked great on my phone. But what I found out through Chief was actually the words were there. If you go back on that, if you still have that email, if you go back and you do basically like try to capture it and to do a cut and, or, to do a copy paste, you'll actually see in the grayed out areas, you'll see the words, because when it transferred over, for some reason it took and it made the font white.
Oh geez, okay, so
that's why you can't
so
see
that's
the
why you
words.
can't see the words.
Exactly.
'Cause I got this, this is what I got, John wrote, ...
Nothing.
nothing.
But my name and
Yeah, all of the
position
stuff that
3
you-
was way down at the
Yeah,
bottom.
yeah, and
So that
everything-
space in between, it's got a whole bunch of words in it. I used disappearing ink.
Yeah, right. You just gotta hold my phone
This
up to the
message will
flame, right?
self-destruct.
Let's not.
Okay, yeah. I don't know, there are
So in
times,
other words, if they go change the font color, they'll be able to read it.
yeah.
But for whatever reason, I have no idea why, it took a black fonted email,
And made it white.
Something
word
like
and
that.
turned it to white.
Just did it.
I can blame it on Android, because that's the phone.
Yeah, it's AI.
Ay. Okay, so then under old business, we have the maintenance fee schedule resolution approval.
Yeah, so that was, I put in, I know it got sent out in the packet, I don't know if you guys have read it over or whatever, but I put in about some of the concerns that were brought up with it, as far as parts returns, warranties, so on and so forth. That's all in there now, along with the holiday hours and that breakdown, so that it's really specific for, basically that would be handed to, or sent out to, say, North Lincoln or Depot Bay or Newport or whatever, whoever's wants me to do work or will help them out, that would be given to them as the price sheet.
Okay. I think we've looked this over a couple of times.
Yeah, I think that we clarified
You got the changes last month.
we clarified the labor,
Yeah.
the warranty.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that was a good point, I brought that up, and so, yeah, if it's workmanship, obviously I'll do it with no cost, but if it's just material, then yes, they would have to pay for my time to replace the part. The part will be covered under warranty and no cost, or anything, but the labor to replace that for the bulk part would still be charged, so.
Sounds good.
does anybody have any questions on it? Do I need to read it into full, in full?
I think we've read it enough.
Yeah, it won't take me that long, and then at least we're following the letter of or the spirit anyway, right?
You can maybe just read the bold stuff. I wouldn't know if you
I don't-
can
No,
read
that's
the
okay.
descriptions.
That's okay. We'll see how quickly I can get through. Central Oregon Coast Fire and Rescue Maintenance Division fee schedules and hours definition resolution number 2024-10. A, in district facility shop rate, shop base rate. Standard base rate for repairs and maintenance of public agency-owned fleet-based vehicles at any of the current or future district-owned or leased properties will be $70 per service labor hour with 1.5 hour minimum. See operating hours and holidays for the definition. B, after-hours facility rate, service rate. After-hours rates for repairs and maintenance of a public agency-owned fleet-based vehicle. Why do you say vehicles instead of vehicle? At any of the current or future district-owned or leased properties after hours on district property owned or leased properties will be $100 per service labor hour with 2-hour minimum. See operating hours and holidays for the definition.
Grammarly said it was correct.
Yeah, right. Holiday facility or service rate. Holiday hours rate for repairs and maintenance of a public agency-owned fleet-based vehicle at any of the current or future district-owned or leased properties during the holiday hours on district-owned or leased properties. I think you got a double in there. Anyway, will be $150 per service labor hour with 4-hour minimum. See operating hours and holidays for the definition. D, standard on-site mobile rate. Standard mobile rate for repairs and maintenance of a public agency-owned fleet-based vehicle at any client-owned or leased properties will be $100 per service labor hour with 3-hour minimum during standard operating hours. See operating hours and holidays for the definition. Billing starts from District Main Station located at 125 Northwest Elsie Highway, Walport, Oregon 97394. After-hours on-site mobile service rate. After-hours on-site mobile service rate for repairs and maintenance of a public agency-owned fleet-based vehicle at any client-owned or leased properties will be $150 per service labor hour with 4-hour minimum outside standard operating hours. See operating hours and holidays for the definition. Billing starts from District Main Station located at 125 Northwest Elsie Highway, Walport, Oregon 97394. F, holiday on-site mobile service rate. Holiday on-site mobile rate for repairs and maintenance of a public agency-owned fleet-based vehicle at any client-owned or leased properties will be $200 per service labor hour with 4-hour minimum outside standard operating hours. See operating hours and holidays for the definition. Billing starts from District Main Station located at 125 Northwest Elsie Highway, Walport, Oregon 97394. Operating hours and holidays. 1. Standard operating hours, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. 2. Holiday rates apply to the following: New Year's Day, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, Washington's birthday, Memorial Day, Juneteenth, Independence Day, Labor Day, Indigenous Peoples Day, Veterans Day, Thanksgiving, Christmas. Part and material fees. Parts and materials will be charged at a cost plus 30% to cover administrative and stock. A restocking fee will be determined at the time of restocking and shall be 30% above the cost incurred by the supplier of the part or material charges for restocking. Parts, material, and labor warranty. If a part or the material used in a repair or service provided fails, the part will be replaced at labor cost only. Labor cost to replace the defective part will be charged following the rates defined above. If workmanship is the cause, there will be no charge for the labor to correct the issue. Okay.
So I have just a couple of questions. Now that we've done this.
Okay.
As far as the vehicles versus not vehicle, it's either take the A away from the A preceding public and leave it as vehicles plural, because it would then be maintenance of public agency-owned fleet-based vehicles. So that's one way to fix it, or get rid of the S.
No, you can always put a parentheses around the S.
Right.
That would be the
And-
third way to fix it.
Yeah, right. And then Washington's birthday is actually referred to as
President's Day.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, correct, yeah.
Yeah.
I
so
tried
that-
to get all the politically correct new names. in
Yep,
there.
yep, yeah, well, it's President's Day because it's a combination of
And
Lincoln's and
under C,
Washington's.
undo your double
Yeah,
district-owned lease properties under C.
yeah.
It's in the district.
But with those corrections, those minor Scrivener errors.
Yeah,
Right, yeah, I was gonna say,
I can
you
help
do
you.
not need to read this.
No, thank God.
And my only question on this was, this looks good, and our insurance will cover, so, I mean, I don't know how fire insurance works. I know, like my contractors, they list the things I can and can't do, so it's covered underneath there. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so can I get a motion?
Make a motion that
Fill in the
we,
room, or you don't like Charlie, I don't know which.
Trying to stay out of the cameras.
so I make a motion that we accept and approve resolution 2024-10 as read with those
Scrivener
corrections.
corrections, yes.
I second it. Greg's busy with it.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve resolution 2024-10 with the corrections noted. All those in favor? Aye. Motion carries, and we don't have to see this one again. I will assume that you will make the correction.
Yes.
I'll make sure.
Okay.
I'll help.
So, under new business, approval to seek legal advice on levy.
Yep, I'm looking for direction to reach out to our new law firm and ask them for feedback on whether or not anything can be done on the unfactual, incorrect information that was released to the public by select members of the public during the levy.
I
I
absolutely agree
think
with this.
I think that that's appropriate. We haven't spent anything on legal fees, so, yeah.
Well, it's not the money, do we?
No.
Do we believe that he can
yes,
speak to him?
Yes,
And I
yes,
think, yes, he should be
yeah,
speaking to him.
yes, I think so too.
Is there a motion for that?
Okay,
And then whatever chief finds out.
he will promulgate.
Yeah.
Okay, so who wants to make the motion?
So I make a motion that we
Allow-
give direction to Chief Mason to be able to reach out to our attorneys and ask about the
Legal advice.
for legal advice on and position on the content of things that have been said prior to the election.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, chief's report.
It's pretty short. Just gonna go over some of the grants. So AFG opened up. It's a pretty short window. I have to have them in by December 20th. Today, I went through and pulled the 20-page portion of the notice of funding that tells us what the priorities are for AFG this year. There are no vehicles on the priority list, not even in low priority. So I'm going to go back through the list. The exhaust system is a high priority, so I will put in for the exhaust system again. I may put in for the exhaust system and a fill station at the same time. And then look at what else is in the list that we could benefit from that's got at least a medium or high priority on it. There's honestly no point in putting in a application for a grant that isn't even on the priority list. It's just not going to get any kind of award. So that's unfortunate, but I would rather spend my time putting in for something that's going to have, a possibility.
Yep.
So our FEP grant, I signed the contract a couple weeks ago. We're just waiting for it to come back signed, and then we should shortly see the check shortly after that, and that should be around just over $9,000, and that covers what we spent to get the heavy brush up and ready for conflict season, and then the upgrades to the heavy brush also. So it also buys a couple things of equipment, like Mark II pump and some other tools that we put on that grant as well. So that was a 50-50 match, and we matched it with in-kind hours from the work that Eric did. So we didn't have to pay any money per se on stuff. It was in-kind matching. So still waiting to hear anything from the $1 million that Congresswoman Hoyle put in for us. I did reach out to her office to ask for an update, and as of right now, it still sounds like it's still not until after the first of the year before we'll find anything out. So still kind of a hold tight situation. I pulled Tender 74 off of surplus. There was a issue that came up with the Corona Court Station not having a fire truck in it. So I'm working with Yahot's Fire. We've put our old Spartan that was at Five Rivers. We've relocated it over to Corona Court. That makes that station count as a fire station again. We need to, come up with an agreement. My suggestion was that we just modify our insurances so that if our truck was the cause of anything that happens to that building, then our insurance would cover it. If their building was anything to cause our truck any damage, then their insurance would cover it, and that would be suffice.
Yeah.
So just waiting to hear back on that. We moved the pumper tender that used to be the tender of Tidewater out to Five Rivers to replace the Spartan, and then with the tender that we were gonna surplus next to it, it maintains the ISO level for that station as well. So it's kind of a way to, at least for the time being, fix the gap that was being created with the Corona Court Station not having a fire truck. So, for the time being.
Now, does the Corona Court Station have any impact at all on our ISO, or?
It does not have an impact on our ISO, it has an impact on our auto aid.
Okay,
So auto aid is based off of the border of the district and not station to station overlap like ISO is.
okay.
Their station is roughly just beyond 5 miles from the border of our district, so without the Corona Court Station counting as a fire station, technically the auto aid would not go into effect either.
Yeah,
So that's something that, by putting that truck in there again, it fixes it.
it fixed it, yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
We have the fire hose that we've been holding on to make sure that all of our trucks are outfitted. All of our trucks are outfitted now. So we're gonna be surplusing that off, really soon. Plus, we gotta get it out of SLR by the end of the year. So, that's gonna be going out really soon, hopefully. Our goal, after meeting with SLR leadership, is to be out of SLR by the first of the year, and they can do whatever they want with it, and we don't have to worry about trying to get a truck out in the middle of their events. So,
All right.
other than that, we're just getting ready for the holiday season, and things have been busy. They've been running 6 calls today, I think, already.
Yesterday too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys were hopping again, yeah.
Yep. So, sometimes it's busy, sometimes it's not. And today was definitely a busy one, so. Yeah.
So do we normally, trying to remember, the holiday celebration?
Yeah, I forgot to give you kind of a volunteer report if you want to go back to it.
Okay, all right,
And Charlie's here now if they have anything for union, so.
okay.
Um,
Well, if
so-
Union has anything for us.
December is, as you guys know, is kind of our event month of the year. So we have got Operation Santa with South Lincoln Resources, the 6th and the 7th of December. And then on the 14th, we will be doing the district's holiday open house, Santa photos, things like that. Crestview is going to be joining us again this year and handing out books and things like that, so it'll be fun. I just put an order in for some new decorations and other things we need for that. And then right now scheduled is the following weekend is the Christmas Light Parade. So it's just kind of, and then I know the city's doing the Christmas lighting on the 8th, I believe.
Can't remember.
I think the tree lighting is on, yeah.
The
it's
Sunday, yeah.
Yeah, 7th or 8th, I don't remember.
I know it was originally a different date and it got changed because it kind of conflicted with Operation Santa, and we tried not to conflict any of the
Right, yeah.
events and stuff like that, so, yeah, so we're just kind of staying busy. December is always every weekend leading up till Christmas, so
Mhm.
there's something going on.
Yeah. Well, and that brings up the issue of December meeting. Are we gonna just go ahead and,
We have for the last 4 years,
Yeah.
I can count for.
well, we always have the ability to call an emergency meeting if we need to. But with everything else going on with the holidays and so on, I think it is appropriate to just have our next regular meeting in January.
Yeah, I don't know if they have to do a vote on it or not, or they just,
They always have, it just
Yeah, I mean, we can do it by
consensus
motion
to
if you want.
postpone.
Okay. I move that we have our next regular meeting in January. It's been moved and seconded to have the next regular meeting in January. All those in favor? Aye. Motion carries.
do you have anything for the union, Charlie?
Forgot to ask.
We're good.
Okay.
How was our resources with helping out with that fire?
Which one?
Which one? I think it was Newport, I heard.
We sent, our engine up there. I started to head that way. They asked me to stay back and cover from Newport South. And, they were up there for a few hours, and I believe it's under investigation at this point, so.
Now, is that the one, was it South Beach?
77.
No, it was north end of
Oh,
Newport.
north, okay.
It's up by Thompson's.
Yeah, right, kind of across the street.
I know that a police officer, Newport Police, did not leave that scene until probably over 7 o'clock last night.
Wow.
I don't know what's going on, but I'm sure somebody will release this for you.
Down the street from,
All I know is my mom slept through it all, it was right by her house.
Jeez. Okay, well, if there's nothing else for good of the order?
Since I have you here too, can we, I get back on the 9th,
of,
and while we do not have a regular meeting in December, can we get a meeting with Dan Cutter for the committee that's dealing with our 5-year plan, and just get a touch base from Dan on where we are, what our next steps are?
Did he send something over?
He sent us a letter back in September saying.
Oh, just recently?
No.
Okay, because I think he was gonna do,
yeah, that's what he
what's it
told
called?
us.
I don't know what they call it, dongle or whatever. He was gonna send it to both boards to kind of agree upon.
Oh, and that's for, is that for the workshop between the two?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So we
yeah,
just,
I'm
we
talking-
just.
Yeah, what he's talking
oh.
about is a meeting with
Oh,
Dan
okay.
about, specifically about that.
About the water flow
Yeah.
money and
Yeah.
the 1.35 and all that kind of stuff.
And that was you and
So Rick represents council, I represent
board.
board, and it's
then-
chief
and then Jim,
and
then
Dan.
yeah.
Well, the date, we have city council on the 14th.
Oh, December?
Yep. If you come back on the 9th, it's gonna be a real tight week.
Right. It's just, this is just a
That's
catch
just
up
a schedule,
and get
just
back
a meeting,
into,
not a.
it
not a-
doesn't have any, no, I don't need to be getting involved in all your stuff.
Let me get to the next week. We have council on the 12th, not the
Not the 14th?
not the 14th. As long as we don't mess with the week of the 16th, because that's Christmas
Right.
basket stuff. But
Well, that we can leave it to those entities to work out the
Right.
meeting date.
So you want me to reach out
Yeah,
please,
yeah.
after the 9th?
yeah, well, the 9th
After
is,
the 9th?
that's Monday, and it looks like,
Yeah, I'd drive back in on, it could literally be the next day.
And we did, on the other meeting, discuss that, about make sure that gets on the books right away. And he thought it'd be a good idea to send something out to both boards, so they can agree upon a date.
Yeah, I'm sure it probably won't be until January, when the
right,
new
because you have
council comes in. and
two
so
new
on,
members
so-
on the council.
Yeah, so, okay, well, if there isn't anything else,
I'm glad you guys squeezed that in, that 4 hours that you were.
Hey, it was our council president that kept telling us, shut up, let's move on.
Yeah. I think we were wanting to wait for the new people, if I remember right.
Yeah,
Because we
yeah.
had 2 new people
and
coming.
that.
And so we thought it'd be good for them to be
really-
involved with the
yeah,
fire department discussion, so.
That makes sense, and maybe by then we'll know a little bit more FEMA and so on too, so. All right, if there's nothing else to come before the board, meeting is adjourned.